Good morning. My name is Małgorzata Kruczek. For some people who struggle with pronouncing my name, I'm more than happy if you call me Margot. This morning, I would like to share with you my personal experience, which I was working on for a very long time. And it is about finding the true passion in your life, finding the real meaning in your life. And and when you actually discover this, taking the action to make sure you will do what needs to be done in order to be really happy with yourself. And for me, it was difficult because I was always believing, I'm living my life in full. I was always believing, I'm doing everything what takes to be happy. But I was kind of like lying to myself. I wasn't really honest with myself because my real passion always was to be able to travel around, to see places, to see countries, to take my kids and travel and to see the world. Unfortunately, the reality is I I don't do this. Um, I was excusing myself in the last, few years, trying to find million reasons why I shouldn't do it. My children were too small. I was single mom, so I just was quite good with finding excuses for myself for not being able to be myself. And I think the difficulty was I was not very clear about my purpose, about my passion in my life. I was always thinking being a nurse, this is uh, this is it, this was it. But being a nurse was brilliant, and I think um, I love originally what I studied, what I finished the course for, and stuff like this. But having said this, I was always so passionate. I was having always big passion in nutrition. I was always having huge passion, in self healing, in power of our brain, power of our subconscious mind. It was kind of like my real deep unfilled passion. And what happened when I started doing nursing? Um, I love my job. I love my job. But when I became a mom, and when my first son arrived, William, um, and 3 years later, my second son, gorgeous son, Charlie, I just realized my life changed completely. I wasn't able to live my life in the way I wanted. I wasn't able to spend time with my kids. And it was very, very hard for me. It was so hard for me. And to make things worse, um, father of my two gorgeous sons decided that he will not be with us, and he left us. And this was a experience which I never would wish to happen to anybody, especially because for me, family, it was everything. And I had this dream in my head, that we should be together all the time, and the family should be together, mom and dad and kids should be together. I didn't had different vision in my head, and suddenly um, this been taken away from me. And I must say, I didn't cope with this. I never coped with this properly till probably last year. Uh, I finally closed this chapter because I needed to close this chapter. And the reason was very hard for me because um, I was single mom in the way like I was responsible for my kids and myself only. Because father of my both sons, unfortunately, didn't feel that he really need to look after my son. Didn't feel like he should be responsible for financial support. He didn't feel that he should do nothing really. It was bad. It was so 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 bad that I actually I was so depressed. I was so depressed. I didn't omit this. I was just struggling. I was working. I was putting a brave face. I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to get through it. I was just thinking that the way I was just I took by struggling and trying to cope, just live day by day is the way. But this wasn't the way to solve this problem. This wasn't, because I was kind of like getting myself absolutely exhausted, yesterday when I was looking at some of the pictures, I just realized, how ill, how exhausted I was in the last, few years. And last year it was kind of like the top of everything, and everything started falling apart. My health was starting falling apart. Despite the fact, I was trying to live healthy always, just exercising myself, but there were some missing very important points, the subconscious, the psychological healing wasn't there. I'd never ever forgive myself for the thing what happened. I I finally forgave father of my two kids for what happened. I forgive myself. I close this chapter. I close this chapter, and I can't. I still find difficult, when I think about moment when I come back home with my gorgeous second son, Charlie, and nobody was there, and I said to myself, "This is it. For me, this is it. I can't, I can't live my life like this. I can't be with somebody who actually is not in our life." And it was so difficult to make this decision. And after when I actually expressed my concerns and the fact, I'm really not happy, I wasn't actually prepared for the fact, that he will walk away from our life. I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared that, he will walk away from our life like we don't mean nothing to him. I just wasn't prepared for this. I just didn't think that people can do stuff like this. I didn't think you can be left with 3 years old son, and you can be left with 1 day old child, and I didn't think this can happen to anybody. So for me, it was so difficult time. It was so difficult time. If I could say anything, it was just a very, very deep depression, which I didn't cope for a very long time. I didn't admit this to myself. I was such a good with hiding this, and actually, a few months ago, going back to the last year, I actually finally admit this, and I tackled this. And I tackled this in the way like, actually, I got to the bottom of the problem. I got to the bottom of the problem, and I started doing step by step in order just to get myself through it, but not by struggling, but understanding myself, what it is important to me, uh, what is my inner circle, what is my core values. Sometimes things can be taken away from us, but this doesn't mean we should stop living our life. I I didn't put it on the side. I know what my values are, but I didn't have the strength to fight for it. So from this place, I would like to say incredible big thank you for Empower Network, because this is a group of people, a huge, actually, group of people, big family of people who actually are so inspirational, who care for others, people who just really inspire you. They did inspire me to look for the real reasons, why my life is like this, what I really want to do in my life, what I want to change in my life. And having said this, without their inspiration, without they taking action, I wasn't. I was not be able to be where I am. I would not be able to record this video because I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed to be a single mom. I was so ashamed to fail as a daughter, as a sister, as a Christian. I was feeling myself so guilty for so long time, and I actually found the strength in myself to prove I was wrong and start a new chapter in my life, which means, absolutely, which means I need to accept myself unconditionally and love myself unconditionally again. And things like this can happen in our life, but we need to learn from them. And I am so grateful for my two gorgeous sons and for the whole experience, which nearly killed me because I was so down. I was so down. I don't want to talk about it. I think it's not a shame, but it's just really create a lot of very, very negative emotions in me. And despite the fact now I closed this chapter, this is still very sensitive. This is really hurt. And maybe one day I will look at it and think, oh, why I was just so silly, and I was just worrying about it, why I was just getting upset about it. But me, family, and being together with everything. Now I have got two gorgeous sons who means everything to me, and I've got myself back. And I think this is the biggest happiness for me at the moment. Because if you want to really be happy in your life, you need to be happy with yourself. You need to be happy with yourself and do what's really mean the most in your life. So I think you need to find your passion. If you don't have your passion still, you don't know what you want to do in your life. Have your time. Take your time and look for your passion. Be clear about it and enjoy every single moment of your life. Be grateful because people who are grateful, who are thankful for everything, they are a million times happier than people who just can't appreciate anything in their life. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. I very much appreciate your time. I very much appreciate your comments. I very much appreciate the fact you are watching me. And if you are going through similar struggles like I did, or if you need any help, honestly, please do not hesitate. Please contact me. Please free to ask questions. Please free to ask for support. Honestly, please free to ask for help. I was so down, I just wasn't able to ask for help. So, thank you so much for listening, and I wish all the best. Life is so beautiful, and we need to give ourselves a credit to live in the way we should. Okay? So, thank you so much for listening, and all the best. Take care. Bye bye.